What's up, everyone? I'm actually flying. I'll wait for people to come in and I'll start talking. All right, guys. So I have an open forum today just for questions, basically. I'm actually flying back to Tampa today, and I'm probably going to have a day or two off where I don't record anything. So let me know in the chats who's here. Guys, any question you want, basically, or anything about yesterday's book of Revelation, or anything about anything that I've done or ever done, or any questions that you've ever had for my work, or if you have any questions, that is. So give it a little while for some people to come in. But yeah, let me know who's in the chat, who's in the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. Now would be the best time to put it out there. So we're just going to hang for a little bit. Just going to let some more people come in, guys. I would like to do my major presentation in a live stream. That could be a 3-hour stream, though, so that's going to take some finesse, so to speak. But yeah, we're going to let people come in, and we'll get started. You know, if anybody has any questions, guys, right away, just start leaving them in the chat. Let's start going with this, guys. So let me know who's here, and if you guys have any questions, let's just begin. I don't know why this keeps shaking. Oh, hold on. I think that's a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, guys, questions. If you want me to go over anything, now would be a good time. Just let me know. So let's see if there's anything that we can go over. Hold on. Just looking through all my PowerPoints, guys, that I've ever made. I'm trying to see if there's any good ones for today. I mean, we could always do the book of Job. I'll let you guys decide. The book of Job is a good one. It's the oldest book ever written. There's not too much in it, so we could definitely do that for sure. But yeah, we'll give it a little more time for people to come in and see. It might be a little early for a lot of people, but we'll see. I have a flight midday, so I had to do this early. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about basically is I have been breaking down astro-theology for quite a while, and a lot of you guys have questions. You're saying, what does it mean? Or what's the purpose of it? Well, from an astro-theological point of view, the Bible tells you it's a calendar that tells you how to survive, when to plant in Taurus, when to harvest in Virgo and Libra, when the sun dies, when the sun's going to come back, when things are going to get open. Mayers is here. I like Job 38:31. Yeah, Job 38:30. We'll get to that. Let me change this. Here we go. Let's make it questions on the book of Job. Let's do that. We'll do the book of Job today. Guys, do you have any questions? Please load up. We're still going to give it another 10 or so minutes for people to come in. We're going to do the book of Job. The book of Job is the oldest book in the Bible. And it's not even close. Job 38:31 is, can you lead forth the Mazzaroth? And the Mazzaroth, well, we'll get into that basically, but the word Mazzaroth has been intentionally left untranslated, so people don't know what it is. The Mazzaroth is actually the zodiac. It is. And Mazzaroth over time becomes the word Mazalot. And then over time, Mazalot evolves again into Mazel Tov, which is a Jewish saying, which means good fortune from the stars. So you can only imagine how old the word Mazzaroth is. But ain't nobody translating that word. Guys in the chat, let yourselves be known. Who's here? Who's got questions? And we can go through the book of Job. The zodiac. It is the zodiac, yes. It is the zodiac. People think it can't be that obvious, but it is, guys. It really is. Ma is the Chinese sound for cannabis. Okay? I like it. Okay, guys. Anybody in the chat? Anybody? I'm going to be doing a Twitter space, if you guys are on X, this upcoming Saturday, I should say. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a couple lives. Would you elaborate on the idea that the sun doesn't illuminate the moon? I'm struggling with that one. Yes, I can. Hold on. This should be the links on Clear. Check that out when you got a chance. Hi, Lori. We were emailing yesterday. Lori's a very sweet, sweet, sweet person. I'm pretty sure it was you, right? Just confirm for me. Health issues lately. Been a little painful, so my memory's not what it used to be, basically. Mary says, could you explain the 666? Well, it's the sign of the man. It's the sign of the beast, but it's the sign of man. And the sign of man is 6 proton, 6 carbon. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. We're carbon-based creatures. That's your 666. That's the anatomical explanation, or the chemical explanation of 666. Now, some people will also say that it is the number given to Nero, that Nero was the Antichrist of the Bible. There's different thought processes on all of this, to be honest with you. Yes, it was Lori yesterday. Well, thank you. Honestly, I appreciate your email so much. You can email me whenever you'd like if you just want to share some information or you just want to talk. Absolutely. And when you're ready to get the flash drive, let me know. They're not going anywhere, and they take 5 minutes to make. So 777 nitrogen, 888 oxygen. It's been a while since I've touched base on chemistry. I don't think, I mean, is that basically it? So then it would go 9999, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11. I don't think in chemistry it's that easy. I don't think they all match up, the protons, the neutrons, and the electrons. I think there's a mix of them. I could be wrong. Somebody who knows chemistry, let me know a little bit better. I appreciate you so much, Micah. Thank you, Lori. Lori, where are you from? Did I ask you that? I would like to. What area are you from? Are you in the U.S.? Are you in? Yeah, let me know where you're from, because I may have something that I want to ask you. We're going to let this go for about another 5-10 minutes. Near Seattle. Oh, boy. Lori, are you on my social media? Are you on Facebook? Please let me know. Or any social media that you're on. And that's Facebook, X, or Instagram. Those are the only 3 that I have. I don't have a Telegram. Hey. Anyway, so just X. Okay, DM me on X real quick so that when we're done with this, I can message you about something. Is that where you found me? Where did you find my work? Let me know. Guys, let me know where you found my work while you're at it. Any thoughts on seeing repeated numbers? I am plagued with 77s and 88s just now. Well, they're called synchronicities. Without getting into the numerology behind it, if you find you're talking to someone like I do with my girl, and every time we're texting each other or every time we call each other, it's always like 111 or 222 or 333. Those are very positive signs that you keep following. These are basically signs that tell you that you're going the right way with whatever you're doing. And you keep noticing these patterns. Found you through Rex League Project. Okay, I was just on Rex. Oh, he didn't put it up yet. He's editing it, and he's... I showed him the Ark exhibit, all the dinosaurs and stuff, and we were talking for an hour. I love Rex, like very much. Like in my book series, which I always talk to you guys about, he has a whole chapter where he interviews the main character, and I talk like Rex for him. Because I knew how to build characters and stuff. YouTube been hooked ever since. Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Libby. Have you guys gotten to my book series? Are you guys interested? I think that you'll learn a lot more about history through the book series than you will from me. So yeah. I see 111 a lot, or 1111 a lot. You're on the right track. Just continue doing what you're doing. Nano. Rex Show. Soul, it's Nanu, like this. Get it right, good sir. I'm going to show you guys something really funny. I'm going to show you guys something really funny. Hold on. I texted Rex a while ago. He said, on the road soon, talk soon. I said, okay. And then I found this picture on the internet, and I said, I brought a ventriloquist dummy that looks just like you. I mean, I know I can't really do much with this camera, but like, Jesus Christ, do you guys see this? It's a little Rex Bear. So I sent him this text message, and I do every few months. I'm like, dude, when can my ventriloquist come on your show? I stand corrected. What do we got here? Gary Wayne was on Sam Tripoli's Not Tinfoil Hat channel yesterday. 2 hours went in like 20 minutes, all about the Giants and the timelines, good fun stuff. There's very few people on this planet that I respect more than Sam Tripoli. Yes, Rex was my first channel, but Sam Tripoli pulling me on 4 years ago to be on Tinfoil Hat, and then he invited me on Union of the Unwanted, which didn't go very well because there was this guy named Jay Dyer on it, and I don't like Jay Dyer. I think he's very cocky. I think that he's wrong. And I was saying something on Union of the Unwanted, and he interrupted me, but rather rudely, and just dismissed what I was talking about. And I was like, all right, this guy's going to be an asshole. I'm just going to stay quiet. So I didn't really pitch in much more. There were some people on there. Sam was on it. Hotep Jesus was on it. I was on it. Jay Dyer was on it. And David Icke actually shared that link on his Telegram, because I guess he watched it. But there's very few people I respect more than Sam Tripoli. The only thing is I think he's turned a little more Christian lately. And I get it that Christianity is a big part of the truther movement, because they think that everything is evil. And they think that it's leading towards this. They're guided towards this, basically. So very few people I respect higher than Sam Tripoli. I haven't been on his show in a long time, and we don't really talk, but he's still a good guy. He talked about the different giants, the Titans, and the lesser giants after the purge. It was really good. Then let Gary Wayne lay it out. Okay, they let Gary Wayne lay it out. Okay. Well, that's good to know. I just messaged you on X, but X locked my account suddenly. Not sure if my messages made it through first. I'll take steps to unlock the account. I wonder if that has something to do with me. Aha! Yes, Lori. You just started following me now. I just messaged you now. Love these informal Q&As, Mike. I could listen to you ramble on about anything. Oh, thank you. So give me some topics to ramble on then, if you can. Let's get into this. Guys, Job is not that long. There's just Job 38:30 is an enormous passage that we're going to get through. But I only have about 10 slides on Job. So let's just continue to talk for a little bit as people continue to come in. I'll unlock when I can. I can always email you too, if you'd like. I can definitely do that. I'll email you. I think since you're in Seattle, you really can help me out with something. But we'll see if you're down for it. Yeah, Micah is great. Welcome if you are new, and firm handshakes to the old guard. Always fun stuff here for sure. Well, thank you. Are you actually a DJ? Because that'd be pretty cool. Trump, Jesuit education, discuss. I did this in my first book, and that was written in 2012, guys, and it didn't get published until 2020. And a lot of the stuff is still cutting edge, too, by the way. The Jesuits. I talk deeply about the Jesuits in there. The Jesuit education. In fact, the Supreme Court justices, most of them have gone to Jesuit schools or have had professorship in Jesuit schools, came through the Jesuit system. It is very ancestral with the Jesuit educated stuff. But what you guys need to know is that the Supreme Court, before it goes back after the break, they go to church on St. Thomas More Day. And Thomas More was, if you guys haven't heard the name, he was, it's been a while since I've talked about this. There was a man named, and I can't remember his name, the guy who translated the Bible. And Thomas More, well, if you read my first book, it'll explain the whole thing, but basically, Thomas More is the patron saint of politicians. And he's one of the people who tried to keep the Bible out of the hands of the many. And I can't remember the guy's name. Was it Robert Catesby? I don't know. Somebody translated the Bible. You guys are frozen right now. Can you guys still hear me? Yeah, guys, let me know if you could still hear me. How you feeling?
Get out of here for a little while.
All right.
$2 about.
All right, if I don't see you, I'm back in Tampa.
Oh, shit. What time when you leaving? I'm just giving him a ride and come back.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I'll still be here. I'm going to be here. We're leaving at 12:30, 12:45.
Yeah, he's throwing me like $100 to give him a ride. Can't turn down $100 right now.
Right, yeah, I hear you. All right. Yes, they're coming through loud and clear. Okay, guys. I can't remember, and it's pissing me off. I can't remember the name. Oh, I know who it is. It was William Tyndale. That's who it was. William Tyndale tried to translate the Bible into English, and he was destroyed for it. I believe he was burnt alive. Thomas More came around later, and he was one of the people trying to keep this away from people, and the Supreme Court prays to him once a year in order to reopen the courts. So, guys, okay, Lori says X is unlocked. Okay, that's good. And, well, why don't we get started? No, it's not Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon, the real Shakespeare. Sir Francis Bacon. No, it wasn't him. You guys know that King James, for the King James Bible, right, was a homosexual, and he was also a demonologist. In fact, you can still get his demonology books on Amazon. In fact, sorry guys, I'm trying to share something with you. Present, share screen. You guys see this, right? Demonology by King James I. This was his book. He came out with this before the whole Bible thing came out. Forgotten books. People don't know that King James was a demonologist. He was also gay. There's a lot of gay people in the Bible, too. King David was gay, or at least bisexual. And we've talked about the whole thing when we're talking about homosexuality actually being child molester and them changing that. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know if you guys want to get this book, but I mean, it's there. So let's start with the book of Job. The first sign I talk about is Aquarius, which is represented by the man. Now, technically, Aries begins the year, but we start in Aquarius. At least I explain it because it's near the beginning of our year. So the keywords are son of man, man, because this is the sign of the man, whereas Virgo is the sign of the woman. Baptism, because this is how you baptize someone. I always say it's either an infant child or a confused adult that gets the baptism. Water pitcher, because this is a water pitcher. Fountain, because the Greek fountains were built like this. Stream, river, pond, lake, ocean, sea, water bodies, or Aquarius. There's water in Aquarius, therefore they use it metaphorically to encode water, whereas Pisces is the sign of the two fish in the water, and that's just an obvious one. So whether it's Aquarius water or Pisces water depends on things. They'll give you an example. Like here, they'll say he gave him some water from the water pitcher, right? Or from the what do you call those things? From the well, right? Well, that'd be Aquarius water, but something in Pisces water would be like, the salt water, the salt ocean, because that's where the fish are. Aries is the ram, and in Aries you have March 21st, which is the spring equinox. It's a 12-hour day and a 12-hour night. There's also 3 Passovers that occur. The first is the oldest, which is astro-theological. The sun's going to pass over the equator on March 21st and make its way back to its height in the summer solstice. Judaism, this is when the angel of death passes over all the ancient Egyptian houses and anyone that doesn't have the lamb's blood to signify Aries, to show that they're the people of Aries, the Jews. Their firstborn sons get killed. And the Christian one is completely changed, and it becomes the resurrection of God's son. So whenever you hear ram, lamb, shepherd, or ram's horn, that's Aries. Taurus is the bull. And it's as above, so below. You see the bull in the sky, you put the plow on the bull on earth so that you can plant the seeds so you can harvest in Virgo and Libra. This is important. If you miss the bull and you do not plant, you will not eat at the end of the year, and it will not keep you through the winter. So whenever you hear bull, ox, calf, or cow being the female bull, for example, when they're talking about the leather, like the leather belt that John the Baptist wears, the leather comes from the cow. That's Taurus. And the belt is Orion's belt. That sits between Taurus and Gemini. So that's talking about that little area right there when they say leather belt. I hope that makes sense. Gemini is the twins. It's the story of Castor and Pollux Troy, whose sister was Helen of Troy. It's the story of Achilles. So whenever you're talking about twins or brothers, you're talking about Gemini. Cancer is the crab, and it's a sideways moving creature. Just as the sun rises a degree on its axis starting December 25th, it stops on June 21st. Then for 3 days it rises to the same degree, hence moving sideways. Then on June 25th it lowers a degree. The crab in the ancient Egyptian time was known as the scarab. So whenever you're talking about crab or beetle, you're talking about Cancer. And there's other things in Cancer too, guys. We go over this all the time. It's not just the crab and the beetle. The beehive cluster, so the honey, that's there. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the great bear and the little bear, that's there. The donkey Acellus Borealis, that's there. The ship Argo starts there. There's a lot going on in Cancer, guys. So again, what we're using is Ptolemy's list of 48 constellations from 150 AD. That's what we're using. Leo is the king, the lion, the king of the savannah. The ruling planet of Leo is actually the sun. So whenever you're talking about lion, lioness, or cub, that's Leo. Virgo is the woman holding the wheat stalk. Remember before when we said that you plant in Taurus? Well, the virgins would cultivate the wheat in Virgo in order to make the bread for the year. So whenever you hear virgin, wheat, grain, seed, barley, corn, grainy things, things that are harvested in the northern hemisphere thousands of years ago, well, still today, you can look up when they're harvested. It's in Virgo. This is the harvest season. Libra is the justice, the scales, the balance, the just one. The reason it's the justice is because it judges God's sun as it passes over, or technically passes under, the fall equinox and begins its descent into winter, into cold, into death. So all law-related things, law, judge, justice, the just one, divorce, marriage, court, all wine-related things, wine, vineyard, wine press, grapes even, olive oil or olive oil, all that stuff is Libra. All wine-related things, all olive-related things, and all law-related things. Scorpio is the scorpion. He is the betrayer. When a scorpion attacks you, I should say, it leaves an imprint in your skin that looks like a pair of lips. It's why the mafia has the kiss of death. And it's why Jesus was betrayed by Judas with the kiss. So the sun is judged in Libra, and it's betrayed in Scorpio. Finally, in Sagittarius, this is where the bow and the arrow shoot the sun and inflict further punishment on the sun. This is where the sun dies. Why? Because on December 21st, the sun is at its lowest point. It cannot rise any lower. It's dead. It's the dead of winter. It remains at that lowest level for 3 days, which is why Jesus was dead for 3 days. When on December 25th, or the birth of God's son, it rises another degree and starts to make its way back up to the top. So whenever you hear horse, bow and arrow, spear, or horseman, you're talking about Sagittarius. Finally, you have Capricorn, who's the goat, and he's the goat because he likes to climb the mountain, just like the sun does. If you put a sun at the very bottom of the wheel in Capricorn, and you start climbing it to the left a degree a day alongside the wheel onto its way to its height in Cancer, it starts to climb up the great mountain in Capricorn. That's why. Just like the sun on December 25th, Capricorn starts to climb back up the great mountain. So guys, those are the 12 signs. So the crab and beetle in ancient Egyptian artifacts is about the constellation. No, Libby, it's as above, so below. It's as above, so below. But when they talk about it in the ancient holy texts, that's talking about the heavens, yes. Scarab, cherub, crab. Yeah, you get the word crab from scarab. Absolutely. Do you think the rider on the white horse could begin on January 20th, the day of the presidential election? Aquarius is one of the 4 living creatures. U.S. President, the Antichrist. So I've been clear on this kind of stuff, that they're tailoring events to make it look like biblical prophecy is being fulfilled, instead of the fact that people believe biblical processes are going to be fulfilled. I've heard the date January 20th before. This is not the start of Revelation. I did Revelation last night, guys. Revelation is an astrology book. It is not meant to be taken literally. We broke down all the scriptures. So, cherub is a crab. No, I think a cherub is a small individual. I think. Anyway, so you guys have any more questions before I continue? All right, let's continue. Prologue. And he owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys. The sheep is Aries, and the ox is Taurus. Those are connecting signs. The camel is Camelopardalis, which is in Gemini. Now that's 3 connecting signs. The donkey is Acellus Borealis in Cancer. That's 4 connecting signs in a row. Do you see how this works, guys? I hope this is, it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4. The sheep, the camels, the oxen, and the donkeys. One day, when Job's sons and daughters were feasting and drinking wine at the older brother's house, a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby." The sons and daughters are Aquarius the man and Virgo the woman. The wine is Libra. Libra and Virgo are connecting signs. The mention of brothers refers to Gemini. The oxen were plowing, which is Taurus. Taurus and Gemini are connecting signs. The donkey is Acellus Borealis in Cancer. That is 3 connecting signs in a row. Now remember, guys, this is the oldest book in the Bible, and it's not even close. This is the oldest book in the Bible. Does a wild donkey bray when it has grass, or an ox bellow when it has fodder? So I use this as an example. The donkey is Acellus Borealis, which is in Cancer, and the ox is Taurus. Now, I bring this up as an example because although in this one sentence they are talking about 2 signs, they don't make a significant pattern in the sky. They're not connecting. They're not opposing. They're not both cardinal, fixed, or mutable signs. There is a lot that I leave out when I break these texts down, like obvious examples of astro-theology, but if it's not making patterns, I tend to not bring it up. I only share the most righteous connections in the heavens for you guys. He is the maker of the Bear and Orion, the Pleiades, and the constellations of the south. The Bear is Ursa Major, which is in Cancer. Orion sits between Taurus and Gemini. Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer are 3 signs in a row. The Pleiades are in Taurus. They are known as the 7 sisters. They are not far from Orion. He will be like a vine stripped of its unripe grapes, like an olive tree shedding its blossoms. Notice how it's always the grapes and the oil, like I explained to you guys. They're always talking about them together. You see that, right? The grapes vine are Libra, as are the olives. This sentence refers to Libra. He will suck the poison of serpents. He will not enjoy the streams, the rivers flowing with honey and cream. The streams are Aquarius. The honey is from the beehive cluster in Cancer. The cream comes from the milk of a cow or Taurus. There are 2 serpents that they knew of at the time. Hydra, which is the sea serpent, which is based from Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio are the 4 fixed signs. There is also Ophiuchus, which sits between Scorpio and Sagittarius. There are stronger connections with Hydra, so I believe this is what they were referring to. Remember, you got to make the decision between the 2 serpents to look for the patterns to see where they're strongest and see that that's what they were talking about. You ready, guys? Job 38:32. Can you lead forth the Mazzaroth? The Mazzaroth is the zodiac. Mazzaroth over time becomes the Mazalot, which survives in Judaism today as Mazel Tov, which is good fortune from the stars. So the Lord's challenge to Job, he says, can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loosen Orion's belt? These are obvious celestial metaphors. You can see that they are celestial and that they are metaphors. So why not continue with it, right? Can you bring forth the constellations in their season or lead out the bear with its cubs? The constellations are the zodiac above. The bear and its cubs are Ursa Major, the Great Bear, and Ursa Minor, part of the Big Dipper. Who can tip over the water jars of the heavens? That's Aquarius. Do you hunt for the prey of the lioness and satisfy the hunger of the lions? That's Leo. Who provides food for the raven? That's the constellation Corvus, which means raven and borders on Virgo. Do you watch where the doe bears her fawn? Mriga, meaning deer, is located in Orion. Who let the wild donkey go free? That's Acellus Borealis, meaning donkey, and is located in Cancer. Will the wild ox consent to serve you? That's Taurus. The wings of the ostrich flap joyfully. That's Lambda Achille or Al Thaliman, which means 2 ostriches in Arabic. Do you give the horse its strength? So we know it's Sagittarius because it's a horse, right? It laughs at fear, afraid of nothing. It does not shy away from the sword. The quiver, they mentioned the quiver, right? What is the quiver? It holds the arrows on the side of the horse. So now we know it's Sagittarius, the man with the bow and the arrow. Does the eagle soar at your command and build its nest on high? That's Aquila, which is the Latin name for eagle and is a constellation a few degrees above the celestial equator. Finally says, can you pull in Leviathan with a fish hook? And Leviathan is the fish god, right? So that would be Pisces. So guys, that's the book of Job right now. But like you see, Lord's challenge to Job is nothing more than an explanation of the celestial heavens. What do y'all think? What do y'all think, guys? Let me know what you think. So what do you guys think? Lots to remember, but fascinating. Lori, I go over the 12 signs every single time because I want this buried into your memories. That's why I do this every single time. I don't do it for me. I do it for you guys. It's real simple, Lori. Pull up Ptolemy's list of 48 constellations. Then you have my breakdown of the 12 signs. Ophiuchus is in there, so that's the 13th. And then there's a few others that I use. The chariot, the cup, the altar. And then these other little constellations. So if you know the 48 constellations and you know where they're located, you can break down these holy texts too. So, great stuff. Thanks. I noticed and I thank you. Fantastic. So, guys, leave me some questions or I'm going to get out of here. That's what's happening right now. I hope that you guys enjoy these breakdowns. I hope they make sense to you. I hope you're showing it to other people. I hope you're teaching it. I hope you guys are looking into my book series. I really do. I really hope that you guys are. I put a lot of work into the book series. I put a lot of history and true knowledge in there. And I basically did that to teach normies what's going on through a fiction series. Because that's the only way people understand. People watch the Hunger Games and they side with the resistance. People watch the Matrix and they side with the resistance. People watch, go on and on and on. V for Vendetta, they side with the resistance. But when it comes to noticing it in real life, people don't know shit. People don't notice anything. That's scary, by the way. The doctor's here, but the doctor missed everything. It's a short video, man. You can go back and look. Can you talk about the pillar of salt Job's wife turned into? Was that indicative of anything? The pillar of salt was Lot's wife, not Job's wife. Let's explain the pillar of salt. First, you guys have to understand what is salt. What is salt? Well, aside from the fact that our body is nothing but salt and proteins put together, it's like usually one or the other. Salt is where we get the word salary from, S-A-L, from salt to salary. Why? Because the ancients were paid in salt. Why? It was the most expensive commodity outside of gold and silver. Why? Why was salt? Why? Well, it's simple. They didn't have refrigeration back then. And I've heard stories that some of the pyramids had refrigerated sectors or some of the places did have refrigerated. This is a very archaic method. It wasn't across the board. Salt kept food viable. If you killed an ox and you ate it and you didn't finish it in one day, the ox would spoil. Salt preserved the food like deep freezers do. Salt was the most important commodity. So when you think of it as a high value, like worth money, salt was the thing. Now, here's the thing about salt. She turns into a pile of salt when she looks back. So think about it like this. What this story is trying to tell you, Lot's wife, what Lot's wife is trying to tell you is not that she turned into a salt. People are like, why did you turn into a pile of salt? Realize that when Lot's wife turned back and looked at Sodom and Gomorrah and saw all the debauchery, saw all the evil, all the nasty stuff that pissed God off, right? She turned into a pile of salt because they had gambling there. They had degeneracy, prostitution. So think about it like this. It would be like you going to Vegas and wiling out and then leaving, and then you're at McCarran Airport and you take one look back at the city and you turn into a pile of gold coins. That would be the metaphor that explains why she turned into a pile of salt, because it's an extraordinarily expensive thing, but it does you no good, does it? Once you're out of there. So that's what the story of the salt is trying to explain to you. Why she turns into a pile of salt. People are like, oh, it's salt, whatever. So the body's made of salt. That's what happened. No, salt was money. Salt was that's why everybody got paid in salt, because it kept things viable. And that's what it is. It's like leaving a debaucherous event and turning around and turning into a pile of coins. No one can use that now because it has no value. But that's what Lot's wife turned into. That was the whole point of the story. So much was hidden from regular people. Yes, Lori. Why are dark actors still obsessed with Taurus? Well, when you realize that the ancients wrote these astro-theological stories from the beginning of time, and it's the same people that are using the same script to write all these ancient holy texts, you'll realize that the Egyptians were the age of Taurus, as were the Babylonians, as were the Sumerians too. And that's where society basically came from. So that's why they're always trying to sacrifice a heifer or a bull, because it's Taurus worship. Moses comes down, sees them worshiping a golden calf. Well, the gold is the sun, and the calf is Taurus. It's the sun in Taurus. They're worshiping the wrong time period, but it's always going to be bull worship, because they're always trying to bring the age back, but they can't. Salt does preserve food. It does, especially before refrigeration, right? It was super important. So she turns into a pile of salt, which is so useful there, but the city is being destroyed, and it's basically like leaving a pile of gold out there. It's not going to do anyone any good at this point. That's what they're trying to tell you. I really love these chats, guys. I truly do. Thoughts on Göbekli Tepe? I haven't looked any much into it, but I do know that, 12,000 years old? 10,000 years old? It's rewriting history. Göbekli Tepe, part of their area that they discovered was an astrological observatory. They built that in, and we see this across the board. We see the Greeks with the Antikythera mechanism that turned out to be a supercomputer to track the stars. It's the most important thing. Understanding the stars keeps you alive. It keeps you alive when you're on a boat and you're looking for directions. It keeps you with the Northern Star. Just follow the star home, right? It keeps you alive on Earth with who to plant. This is the sacred knowledge, how to stay alive. And that is the one that they control. Yes, I remember books about pioneers using salt to preserve meat. There you go. Good day. Unselfish thoughts, noble aspirations. You're going to want to start this video back over, guys, if you're coming in late. So what else do we have, guys? What else do we have before I go? Morning. Can you tell us a brief history of your childhood? I was raised in a religious family, in a conservative Jewish household, and I never took to it. When I was 9 years old, I remember being in temple and thinking this was very dumb. And I would always like tell my parents I have to go to the bathroom, and then I would just hang out and play with my friends out there. I never cared for religion like this, but I knew something was off. I just didn't know what or how at the time. Anything specifically you want to know besides that? A brief history of my childhood? I mean, I had, it was rough. I had a rough childhood. Not really financially like that. We were middle class, but I had problems that I had to deal with. Let's see. Ashley May is here. Hey, y'all. I'm silent, but putting on my makeup with vision in one eye. I'll go back over the comments later. Ashley, thank you. Let me know if you have any comments. I think we talk on Facebook, right, Ash? Let me know. Same with the Lutheran Church, felt something missing. Yes. They try to tell you that the hole will be filled if you go to church, and it's not the case. Because some people are born with wanting to know things, and that has always been a problem. People always want to gatekeep the information. And so I'm just here going like this to all of them. You know, I don't have a Patreon. I do have a Rumble, though. You can look me up. I do have a Rumble now because I can, I'm uploading all my videos there so they're safe in case YouTube ever takes me down. Do you have Masonics in your family? I have a cousin in France, and she is a Mason because the rules of Masonry are different over there. Women are allowed to be part of it, I believe. But that's it. Do I have Masonics in my family? No, I'd be the first. It's a lot of people go there looking for brotherhood. A lot of people go there looking for esotericism. You know, I went there looking for keys to the universe, and I didn't find it there for me. I'm the one basically teaching that stuff there. But it did help make me a better person in many ways, and for that I am very grateful. All right, Ashley, do your makeup. Do what you got to do. Wait, what is this? Still fighting with school today, so I'm a bit busy. What's going on with school, girl? What's going on with school? Lutheran. You guys know how we were talking about homosexuality in the Bible before? The Lutherans were started by Martin Luther, the original Martin Luther. And he had a German Bible. And in his German Bible, it used the word Nabenschänder in Leviticus, which means child molester or boy molester. Boy molesters will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Boy molesters And then they removed that and put homosexuality in it. So thanks for the morning chats. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, so we did Job. So let me close out of that. So we did Job. And we appreciate you doing this even to a small group. It's 10 in the morning on a Monday. I'm on the East Coast. I didn't expect 1 billion people to come in, but I am flying back to Tampa today, and I wanted to make sure that I got one video in. Pretty much. So, yes, it's not as much as many people are, or like my Book of Revelation video. That was it. I've had anywhere from like 30 to 140 people in the chat, and it really depends. Or watching live, it really depends. This will get views, though. People will watch this later on. Always a great time here. Thank you, Lori. Kids 504s. I'll catch up in a bit. Oh, Lord. Good luck. Is that their IEP? It's 3 p.m. in Orkney, Scotland. Got some people from Scotland. Fantastic. I'm always blown away by where people find me from. A lot of people find me from Rex because he's always like super good to me, Rex. A lot of people find me from his channel. But yeah, guys, let's see here. Are there any people that you think I should reach out to talk about my work to? I'll let you guys leave a couple people in the chat, and I'll talk about them real quick. Who do you think I should talk to? And I'll let you know what happened with them if I had an interaction with them. And then we'll close with that. But I do have to stand up because my hip. Oh. Oh, okay. So yeah, guys, leave comments. Let me know who I should talk to or try to reach out to. Libby, did you see yesterday's when I did the Book of Revelation? I explain it all. Watch my live from yesterday. I think you were in the chat too. Why do people seem to be afraid of the Book of Revelation? Because they think it's real. That's the problem. They think it's real. They think it's a real thing that's really going to happen. The dragon and the woman is going to happen. The 4 horsemen is going to happen. The pale horse is going to happen. This, that, and the other thing. I don't know who this person is, but let me know who this person is. The Book of Revelation is nothing to be afraid of. In fact, a lot of different denominations don't even think the Book of Revelation belongs in the Bible. It was put there to scare people, is what it is. And if you don't know how to read it. So, all right, I'm going to give us another minute or two. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. It's so cool that I can just get on a Monday at 9 a.m. I'll be thinking about it. I need to double check some names. I'm great with faces, but names not always. I'm kind of like that too, in a way. Takes me a long time to remember a name. I've met a lot of people. But I do have some kind of a memory. I mean, I have to, doing what I do. All right, guys. David Nino Rodriguez. Who is this person? Guys, you know what? I actually do have to take off because I'm not feeling 100%. But if you guys want to reach out to me on social media. Daily podcast for a decade, spiritual and magic, post-evangelical Christian. Ooh. I would like to reach out to that person. Guys, email me these people if they have social media. Send me their links or message me on social media. I will be back tomorrow. Feel better, Micah. Safe travels. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon.